Yesterday, I did a video monologue about don't take the bait. The idea was really, I thought, pretty self-explanatory. While we just run after this and this and this and every little thing that we point out that the liberal Democrats are up to, the more we do that, the more tone deaf the mass audience becomes. So that when something serious does happen, they don't pay any attention because we blew everything else up out of proportion. Case in point, Kamala and the long weekend. And while everybody was losing their collective minds over the fact that she said, "Enjoy your long weekend, everybody," with that cavalier personality that she has, everybody missed the fact how she bombed at Annapolis. I didn't miss it. The U.S. Naval Academy at Annapolis. It is the place where the future officers of the United States Navy and the Marine Corps receive their education, their training, and their preparation. A long-standing tradition has been to have either the President of the United States or the Vice President actually serve as the commencement speaker. And here for 2021, that duty fell to one Kamala, thinks she's a hottie, Harris. And once again proving she's not up to the task. And again, this has to do with the fact that she is style over substance. And she was going there not to motivate, not to inspire, not to encourage a love of country, a sense of service to the preservation, the freedoms that we have here, the protection of our Constitution, the protection of our way of life. No, nay. This was a social experiment. It's all about equality and being inclusive and the new America. And that meant that Kamala thinks she's a hottie Harris, tried to tell a joke. But the joke wasn't funny. In fact, it bombed.
Our electrical engineers who will soon help convert solar and wind energy into power, convert solar and wind energy into combat power. And just ask any Marine today, would she rather carry 20 pounds of batteries or a rolled up solar panel? And I am positive she will tell you a solar panel, and so would he.
Here's a news flash that I think even liberal stand-up comedians would agree with me. Politically correct humor, woke humor, isn't funny. It really isn't funny. In fact, humor, the best humor, the stuff that really makes us laugh, is the stuff that isn't politically correct. It's the stuff we know we're not supposed to laugh at, but we laugh at. It is one of the ways that the human psyche processes trauma, tragedy, great upheaval in our lives, is to be able to have a moment of brevity and levity and to be able to laugh. And this pablum society that certain members of the woke left would like us all to live in, and there is the vice president thinking that she is being, first of all, inclusive in this is a female Marine. And of course, the guys don't want to carry anything that heavy either. So somebody on her staff thought, hey, let's do a joke that is sexually inclusive and of course ties in green energy. I'll bet these staff members are just a riot to be around all day. This thing bombed so badly. You say, now, wait a minute, Pastor Marty, you were just saying yesterday, don't major on the minor. Well, while everybody was talking about her weekend comment, everybody missed how badly both she and her alleged boss, Joe Dementia Biden Obama, bombed when he did the Coast Guard graduation. In fact, it was so bad, And he himself is at such odds with the church that he is supposedly a member of, the Roman Catholic Church, that 4,500 people who call themselves the Notre Dame community signed a petition. This would be graduates, alumni, students, faculty, past and current. 4,500 of them signed a petition that the invitation to Joe Biden be canceled. And it was. He bombed at the Coast Guard graduation, telling them that they were all dull. Now you have Kamala Harris addressing the future officers of the U.S. Navy and Marine Corps and sending that virtue signal, we're all going to be inclusive and we're all going to be one big happy family and we're going to be politically correct if it kills us. And that's the reason this needs to be talked about. This revamping, this remaking, this recreation of the military is yet a true assault on America and our security and our national defense, which has been charged and given to the executive branch. That would be the president / vice president. They are constitutionally bound to preserve, protect, and defend not only the Constitution, but the nation itself. The president is the commander-in-chief. And to give you an idea of how drastically different other nations approach this, here is a Russian recruitment commercial appealing to young Russians to join the military.
Что ты знаешь о себе? На что ты способен? Вопросы могут остаться без ответов, но разве ты сможешь потом спокойно спать? Узнать себя, познать границы своих возможностей. К черту границы. Ты готов ломать себя до изнеможения. Каждый день. Здесь боль закаляет. Шрамы, повседневность. Это ты решил себе что-то доказать. Командир здесь только для того, чтобы ты мог увидеть в нем врага. Потому что без врага нет боя, а без боя нет победы. Но на самом деле, главный враг — это ты. Вчерашний ты. Твоя задача — выследить врага, догнать его, превзойти, стать лучше, чем он, и вернуться назад победителем. Потому что завтра первый день твоей новой жизни.
Huh. Nobody there seems to be complaining if a battery pack weighs 20 pounds. Nobody there seems to be worried about, are we being inclusive enough? In fact, China, which openly has many female combat soldiers, many officers, this is their recruitment commercial.
到！别走！到！
我们已经习惯达到。
王局！到！专利动员大会现在开始。
一声到，是一句承诺。
军长同志，一方前准备完毕，请指示。什么？战！
一声到，是一种割舍。一声到，是一次重塑。
海上、空中、陆上各作战机组已修订完善作战计划。
一声到，是一场冲锋。
Well, nothing real touchy-feely about that, and nothing about equality, inclusion. There was not the pointing out that, why, look at these females that we have in this commercial. See how inclusive we are? It was no. In both the Russian and the Chinese commercial, the overwhelming message was the nation. We defend the nation. We defend our country. We defend our countrymen. We will do what it takes. We will be hard as nails. We will ignore the elements. We will be tough. We will be mean. We will be victorious. So, the nation that birthed itself out of a rebellion, the nation that won not one, but 2 world wars, the nation that has been the greatest force for peace on the planet and has made the most inventions and revolutionary technologies that have advanced mankind for the past 150 plus years, how are we now recruiting? It's sad. It's sad, but this is it.
This is the story of a soldier who operates your nation's Patriot missile defense systems. It begins in California, with a little girl raised by 2 moms. Although I had a fairly typical childhood, took ballet, played violin, I also marched for equality. I like to think I've been defending freedom from an early age. When I was 6 years old, one of my moms had an accident that left her paralyzed. Doctors said she might never walk again. But she tapped into my family's pride to get back on her feet, eventually standing at the altar to marry my other mom. With such powerful role models, I finished high school at the top of my class, and then attended UC Davis, where I joined a sorority full of other strong women. But as graduation approached, I began feeling like I'd been handed so much in life, a sorority girl stereotype. Sure, I'd spent my life around inspiring women, but what had I really achieved on my own? One of my sorority sisters was studying abroad in Italy. Another was climbing Mount Everest. I needed my own adventures, my own challenge. And after meeting with an Army recruiter, I found it. A way to prove my inner strength and maybe shatter some stereotypes along the way. I'm U.S. Army Corporal Emma Malone Lord, and I answered my calling.
I'm going to say something right now that's not going to sound very pastoral. But this social reengineering that we've got going on, this mandate that they want to ram down our throats about everything must now be equal. We must soften it down. We have to change our training methods. You can't use vile language. You can't touch the recruits anymore. You gotta be nice. It's gotta be nice. You do understand that in reality that we're facing enemies that don't do any training like this whatsoever. And I hate to point it out to young Emma, who I am sure is a very nice person. I'm sorry, Emma, but based on what I've seen, any one of those Russians or Chinese soldiers, male or female, forgive me for being this direct even as a pastor, they would kick your ass off the planet. And it's this that we now have influencing and making military policy. This is what's driving the shaping and the training of the minds of our officers and of our actual combat soldiers. You understand, I was going to say we're one generation from being gone, but we're gone. We're gone. And this was one of the things that President Trump was fighting against. The thing that we do still have going is the fact that there are still some sane people in the military. There are some people who really do know what needs to be done and how to get it done, and not this new social experiment that's going on. We can only hope that they can hang in there long enough to get this thing turned around when we can have an election where we get the result that's needed to turn things around. Until then, pray.